the connection for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, because like you froze for me. I was like, hello.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Maybe it was YouTube servers that was the problem there. Uh,
Don't worry. In the delayed stream, I hit the chat with a BRB.
but that was yeah, that was scary. We were gone for like 20 seconds.
Oh jeez.
Uh, but like we're good. We're good. But moving on, the RX 6600 XT, the latest graphics card that you can't buy.
I'm watching, waiting for the stream to come back up.
Yeah, and oh, it's like back for me. Like we're good. We're good on here. Refresh your page, bro.
Oh, it's a whole ass other video.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. I didn't have it on our channel, like on the channel page. I had it on the video. So there's just a 6-minute stream of us.
That's fine. I'll delete it later, whatever, or I'll merge the two videos, whatever.
Yeah,
But like
no
in
worries.
other news, we have the RX 6600 XT, the latest graphics card that you can't buy. AMD has released their
Cheeky.
latest budget graphics card, ray tracing capable graphics card. It is targeting 1080p max settings gaming in AAA titles, and it is retailing for $379 US.
No, it's gonna be about $600 the second it hits the market.
No, it's gonna be about 900. It's gonna be about 900 because like AMD graphics cards are like particularly good at mining. Because like usually they have a large amount of VRAM more than Nvidia's, and like the way that their drivers work, they're just more suited to like hash rates and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But it is releasing on August 11th for $379, and it looks like it performs in certain titles at least around 15% better than the RTX 3060, which was the spiritual successor to the 2060, which is a little bit better than the 1660 Super you have. So this looks like it'll be like a decent step up, and it'll really allow you to get the most out of. I would say, pretty much you're gonna get like 120 hertz, 120 frames, 1080p max settings in most games. I would imagine. I'll have to look at future benchmarks for that to confirm that, but just judging off of what they've shown so far, I would imagine that that's around the level of performance you can expect from that. Moving on, what I'm really excited about is NVIDIA's RTX 4000 series has leaked with the RTX 4090. Apparently, this GPU is now targeting double the performance of the RTX 3090, which was already a beast of a card.
They're putting in work.
And I'm wondering how this is possible, but like Nvidia is like a massive company, and like in terms of like graphics cards, like I think no one, at least where RTX is concerned, I think no one does the game better than them, because like there's only one other competitor, and AMD has not particularly figured out ray tracing yet, so they got a little bit more to go with that one. But like I'm super excited for this. It looks like in general the RTX 4000 series will be targeting upwards of double the performance of the 3000 series, which I talked to you about this earlier in the week, and I was like, imagine buying a Scalp 3080 or 3090 for like double or possibly even triple the street price of it, and then
followed it up with a clown emoji.
and then this comes out a year and a half later, and it's over twice as fast.
You know, this is a big jump.
I'm like, and this just reinforces my whole thing. Like I was ever since I got my new card, like my 20 Super, I was like, that's it. I'm skipping 3000 series. It's not worth it for me anymore. It's just not. My biggest concerns are that when it comes time for this to release, that scalpers will rule once again, and crypto miners will rule once again. That is my biggest concern, especially since
absolutely. And that, like, those like those key words that you mentioned, like over double the performance, they're gonna flock to it like crows to the carrion.
On the flip side, though, it's funny that you say that, because that means that we will be getting discounted used 3090s on the used market. And not just 3090s, like all 3000 series. So if you are looking to upgrade and you are looking for more value and are scared of scalpers, like who knows? Like it's over a year from now, so like
it's like a year and a half time. In a year and a half's time,
maybe
it will be the time where the 3090s hit the market at reasonable prices.
Maybe we'll be better off then. So we'll see. Like the biggest thing for me is like we don't like over doubled the performance of a 3090. If that is true, like I know some of these, like this isn't marketing, like just according to a spec sheet and like rumors, it says it's like over double the performance of a 3090. The thing is, the 3090 is already like touching the limits of what modern monitors can do. Like I'm pretty sure they don't make a monitor, like a PC monitor, above 144 hertz at 4K. And it sounds like the 4090 would be able to go well above 144 hertz at 4K. So like
that's like mega future.
We don't even have a need for that yet. Like we don't even have a place that could be applicated for. Hi, Amanda.
Back, yeah.
We got lost for like 20 seconds there. There was a blip in the stream for some reason. We don't know why.
And it separated it into another video.
But
so
yeah,
it was a little hard to find.
But yeah, we're back. We're good.
Be back.
I think we're solid now. But yeah, I'm just like I'm excited about this. It's just like, why would we? It almost feels like I feel weird I'm not even complaining about it. It feels like Nvidia is like innovating almost too much. Like it feels
they're literally future-proofing their market.
It feels like this is at the point where I feel like they're competing with themselves. Like if this is true, AMD is like not really competitive anymore.
Nvidia is just like, your biggest enemy is you from the day before, and they just keep trucking.
Oh my god. I think I think the whole thing that they're going for is
they have Red Bull and Coke for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're just like, faster, stronger.
They're like, what's better than the 3090? Slap two 3090s together and charge $700 for it. I don't care if we lose money. Just do it. But I'm super excited, but we'll have to...
Wait, is there like price specs out for it?
No.
I was about to say, because I was like, if they're losing them, they're pulling another. They're pulling a Valve with the Steam Deck.
We're way early out for that. Like these are just preliminary performance metrics. Like who knows if it'll actually end up being that much faster than the 3090? Could end up being 10% faster for all we know. Like instead of 100%.
But that's still pretty big.
No, it's not. That's pretty average actually.
From the 3090 to 4090.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see more. Do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, I was actually, while you were talking there, I was looking through it. So, Dell has stopped shipping Alienware. They have, like, full-built gaming PCs.
This is their pre-built lineup.
Yeah, their pre-built lineup. They are no longer shipping Alienware PCs to California, Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington due to power crises, like due to like energy consumption concerns in those states.
The initial article is a little misleading because it is due to power regulations that they're changing this, but like the only reason they're not shipping their current ones, first of all, because Dell... have you ever owned a Dell system?
Like block computer, PC, and monitor back in like 2004.
That's what I'm saying. But if you've ever looked inside of it, or even if you haven't, you know that Dell likes to cheap out on some important stuff sometimes.
Okay.
And one of the biggest things that they cheap out on is power supplies. So when you have a PC, you have a power supply, you have a PSU that it gets power from, obviously, and it has like any other electronic, it has a power efficiency rating, which means the amount of power it's able to use or sustain while being idle or while under full load.
Yeah, there I'm looking. It's like the standards specify energy consumption targets that cover 4 non-active usage modes: short idle, long idle, sleep, and off modes.
So it appears that Dell's highest end Aurora Alienware is still available to be shipped to California, but it is just the lower end ones that are not, because they do not meet power efficiency ratings set by those states.
From the KEC.
But it's not
the California Energy Commission. KEC.
The KEC. That's like Fallout.
KEC or cringe.
That's like Fallout 2. The GEC. Gotta get the GEC.
The GEC.
But this is an easy fix if you're Dell. I mean, it sucks that they have all these pre-builts that are just sitting there that can't be shipped right now. But
only to 6 states though. Like they're still being sold, but it's still that's got to be a heavy blow to Dell.
But you can expect this in the future on other states as well, just because like a lot of states are like trying to be less wasteful when it comes to like energy and electricity. Especially since we're going towards an all electrical future.
True, yeah.
So this is an easy fix for them. All they have to do is just put better power supplies in all their pre-builts, and then they're good.
They have to do, all they have to do is be better.
All they have to do is just be better. Stop being cheap. Don't be cheap. Just like make a good product, yo. Is it so hard?
Fuck, what's the line? What's the line from SpongeBob? You said that you were something the clown, but all I see is Cheapy the cheapskate.
Chippy the cheapskate. That one. I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of the clown's name though, Mr. Krabs.
I forget. I don't know. But what was I gonna say? Dell.
Great at derailing.
Dell just needs to make a better product, and like they're not the only ones who are guilty of this. Like this is gonna be applied to other things as well. Later this year, California is actually doing the next phase of this, where they're banning inefficient high refresh rate monitors as well. So like this is hitting all like electronic industries, because like there are a lot of shoddy products out there that just waste power, and I actually think this is a good thing in the long term. It sucks for anyone who is looking to go buy a Dell Alienware right now and can't because of this, but like if you were planning to build your own PC anyway, one, you're not under the regulations because you're building your own. So like you could just like take cheap components and whatever and like throw together your own machine. Or if you just want to wait, then you're gonna have to wait anyway, because you can't get a graphics card right now for a reasonable price anyway. And if you're gonna buy a Dell, just wait. Like it's really not a big deal. So like so don't freak out if you live in one of those states. Again, they're California, Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. So don't freak out if you're in those states. One, you could always buy a system other than Dell, which is probably the better decision in my opinion. But if not, just build your own if you don't want to wait, or just wait until they sort this whole power supply issue out. It's not a big deal. So yeah. You take this one.
Yeah.
You take this one.
So on Tuesday, Facebook announced that they are pausing sales of the Oculus Quest 2 due to face irritation concerns. A small percentage of Quest 2 owners reported skin reactions to the headset's included foam faceplate, which so it's like like they get like a rash or something, like a skin reaction. That's what I assume. Facebook since has come out. They made a post saying they were going to stop sales. They're adding silicone face mask covers for future versions of the Quest 2 that are coming August 24th. So they're coming back up next month. But what does this mean for us? You should order one of the silicone foam covers from the Facebook Quest faceplate, which Facebook is offering now on its own. If you do own a Quest 2
for free. by the way.
For free. Oh, I didn't know that.
No,
it couldn't hurt because apparently this is not an allergic reaction. It's just it must be like some chemical, I guess, used in the faceplate.
It's just no, it's not even the faceplate. It's just the foam covering. Like, do you?
Yeah, but like,
what do you think about this? Like wearing it, like because we both have Quests. So what do you think about like? The whole thing?
I mean, I haven't experienced the irritation. Like the article states, it's only like a small percentage, but I feel like it's something with this you sweating when it's on your face, and like the sweat with the foam like could like scratch. I
don't disagree with that. I feel like
I'm just trying to work it through my head. What could it be?
I think the underlying issue is just the quality of the foam, and I have not experienced skin irritation or any kind of reaction to this. I will say the foam cover is not the most comfortable thing in the world. Like after like an hour or two of playing with my Quest, I do start to like feel like a little like okay, like. And
I get sweaty quick, and I haven't experienced it. So I'm like, that's what I was saying. Like the type of foam that it is, like there's something in the makeup of the foam itself that could be causing the skin irritation.
It just feels like a part of the Quest that Facebook really cheaped out on. It is important to note that, did you mention that they halted the sales of Oculus Quest 2s because of this?
Yes, until November 24th.
Yeah, they halted them because they're actually releasing a new model with double the base storage, so you're getting 128 gigabytes instead of 64 gigs for the $299 model.
But it will also come with the silicone face cover. It will come with the silicone cover.
So this is a good thing all around. If you have like a Quest 1.0, I guess this would be like it's really not that big a deal. There have been third-party covers, like silicone covers, for a while because people have said, "Oh yeah, this like default faceplate for the Quest 2 kind of stinks."
Oh yeah, so, my cousin has a silicone cover, and it's great.
Yeah, it's better because like it's not like a stupid foam.
And they're like cushiony, and it covers the area around your nose that always has a light shining through. Like they just.
So this is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have a current Oculus Quest 2, don't sweat it.
God damn it.
I try to be funny. Apparently, next year's iPhone 14, that's next year, so 2022, not 2023. We're expecting some sort of iPhone 13, possibly even iPhone 12 and a half. Not joking. Next year's iPhone 14 is expected to feature high-end models with new titanium alloy chassis. So not the cheap aluminum that Apple has been kind of going with for the last few years. An actual titanium alloy. And high-end is an operating term here because you can expect that with that kind of build quality, these things will not be cheap. Especially because it's Apple and they usually command a premium for their phones anyway. Apparently, the new titanium backing will be manufactured by Foxconn, which is...
What is Foxconn, though?
Oh, you don't know who Foxconn is?
No.
Oh, they're like a massive electronic component manufacturer.
Okay.
They're like massive. We were actually supposed to build like a huge Foxconn... like a semiconductor plant in the U.S. when Trump was president, and then they just like fell through and never went with it. So
cool.
But I'm not blaming the chip shortage on that. All I'm saying is it would have helped alleviate it. But yeah, these new iPhones, they look pretty sexy. The leaked design.
Yeah, I looked at the picture.
Leaked design or concepts.
She looking shiny. She looking sleek.
Leaked design or concepts. Yeah. They actually Apple actually uses a blend of titanium. I think it's titanium and aluminum with a mix of stainless steel in their iPhone. Not the iPhone. The Apple Watch Series 6. So to see this in a phone, this would be pretty cool. I'm just worried that it's going to be an extra $300 versus the non-titanium one.
Oh, I have no doubt. No doubt. It's gonna be like a grand phone.
Typical Apple move. Oh, what is this one? It has a better. It's like this. It's like Nintendo. Like, this has a better screen. Pay me more. But like on an even grander scale because it's Apple, so it's gonna be like, this has a better screen. Give me $400 more.
It's like, sacrifice your firstborn to us.
Give me. We're Apple. We don't give a shit.
Gimme Apple gets. That's all it is.
In PS5 news,
Sony gang.
which I'm pretty excited about. They have finally added support, at least in beta for their beta testers, to add expandable storage through the PS5's M.2 expansion slot. What an M.2 is, if you have a PC and you have a motherboard,
solid state drive.
It is an SSD, but it is an M.2 SSD that plugs directly into your motherboard. It is that is the type of SSD that is built into the PS5, but now you can add another one into the expansion slot. You will have to take off the faceplate for your PS5 to do this, which has a lot of people kind of. I'm kind of nervous.
That would void the warranty.
I'm kind of nervous about that. It would void the warranty, but like, if you are technically savvy, you really shouldn't worry about this, because like, I'm like, oh, M.2 slot, pff, like, easy. Take off the faceplate, screw it back on.
I feel confident to put a SSD into an M.2 slot.
It's really not that big a deal. Like, but I feel like it's because it's like an actual extra step that you have to do, and not just a thing you could plug into your PS5. It has people a little nervous because a lot of them don't know what an M.2 is, for one, and like, I feel like Sony needs to do a better job explaining this, because like, you have so many people who aren't connected to like PC components and who don't know what an M.2 is, how to install one, which one is compatible. They do have a good page on their website, on their support page, about what M.2 models and what heat sinks for the M.2s are compatible. But I feel like they need to be a little bit more clear and a little bit like further out there in terms of like getting that information out there on what like how to instruct people on how to do this, because this has a lot of people kind of nervous. I saw a couple like I don't want to call them Xbox fanboys, but they're coming off as Xbox fanboys, because they're like, oh, why can't you just make it plug and play? For one, the plug and play expandable SSD that the Xbox Series has, for one, it has a max storage of 1 terabyte, so you're limited to that, whereas the PS5 M.2 can have for anywhere from 250 gigabytes to 4 terabytes of expandable storage. So there's that. And also the Xbox Series expandable storage is way slower than the PS5 one. And it's also a proprietary solution, so you have to get it directly from Xbox. So overall, with Sony, you have a lot more choice and a lot more freedom as to like what you want to work
and
with.
I feel like I think in a previous Amusement Mile, there was like rumors of this coming out, but now it's like officially announced.
It is in beta. I just want to say that again. It's in beta.
Yeah, it's in beta, so it's still being tested, but it's starting to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's fully like confirmed that this is a good addition to the PS5 army, I guess, like, for lack of a better word. If you're feeling hesitant, I'm fully sure, rather, that there will be YouTube tutorials on before you buy M.2 SSD for PS5.
Hell, I might make one. That's a good video, actually. We should do one, how to expand your PS5 storage.
Oh yeah.
Do one of those. I'm rocking PS5 colors, I just noticed.
I noticed you put up the blue screen.
I got the blue and the white. I felt blue. I was feeling blue today. I was tired of the green.
Blue, if you were green, you would die.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, don't worry. You will. Couple things to note: to replace your M.2, if you are in the beta program, you will need. You'll need a well-lit room with a table. Oh, tell me more, PlayStation. Please, I'm so lost. But things you'll actually need, they recommend having a flashlight just in case you need to like see like darker parts of the PS5 and a.
So if you've got that new iPhone, you got a flashlight right there.
This is a $1,400 flashlight.
Oh no.
And you also need a Phillips screwdriver, so it's going to be pretty easy. Like I don't know a single person who doesn't own at least a single Phillips screwdriver. So yeah, I'll plan to make a video on that. I don't think I'm in the beta program. I don't even remember if I got accepted into it or not. I feel like
you and I talked about it at one point.
We did talk about it.
I
don't know.
Get on the beta program.
I don't know if I ever applied for it though. I'll have to research more into that. But
we'll look into that.
Like when it comes around, when that feature fully gets released, I will be making I think I'll make a video on that to like help anyone who needs that. Do you want to talk about the last tech topic for the day?
Actually, you take it because I want to take
You want to take the first gaming one?
The first two gaming ones.
All right, sounds good. Again, CEO of Sony, Pat Gelsinger CEO of Intel. Sorry, wrong mega tech company. Pat Gelsinger did say that the chip shortage is continuing into 2022, possibly dragging over into 2023. And that is likely to happen. And obviously it goes without saying that because they have microchips in them, this is going to affect next-gen consoles in addition to PCs. So it looks like you will not be able to reliably get a PS5, Xbox Series console, or a CPU or GPU until 2023 at least.
Which hurts a lot.
It does hurt a lot. And that's why I'm still following all the restock discords and all my Twitter notifications set up.
Stock Informer Discord is a blessing.
Everything. Wario64, if you don't follow him, he's a great resource to use if you're like a console gamer in particular, because he posts whenever new Xboxes, new consoles, doesn't matter, Switches, anything Switch, anything PlayStation, anything Xbox, he's got you covered there. So go.
Hey, where does Mario 64 post?
Twitter.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Amanda, you can follow Wario 64.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, download a Twitter. You freaking.
There is a technical barrier here from me to Wario 64.
If you're a boomer and don't have a Twitter, then you can't follow Wario 64, I guess.
I specifically mentioned that for the joke, sir.
All right. That is all on the tech news. Jared, take it away with our first bit of games.
So, sad news. PS5 exclusive Stray, the cat RPG or just like adventure game.
It is an RPG to my knowledge.
So yeah, you play as a cat, and it's going to be like a stealth game. I remember it was announced at the PS5 reveal, and it was incredible. Unfortunately, it has been delayed to Q1 2022. So the latest we'll see it is in March of 2022. And I really like the IGN article about it because the subtitle is "But we want it, meow."
But we want it, meow. That's pretty cute. It is coming to PS4, PS5, and PC Q1 2022.
Oh, sweet. So it is coming to PC as well. It was announced yesterday during an Annapurna showcase. We got a new trailer along with it. Shows a little bit of quests, explorations, and even combat. So there's going to be combat in this cat game.
I mean, it's an RPG, so I'd expect it. I would expect some sort of combat.
Just your little cat backpack, and there's something called B12. I haven't watched the trailer. I'm gonna watch it after stream, but it looks so good, and I really don't want to wait for it. but as long as it's coming, and as long as we know that it's going to be there, if they delay it again, I'm going to start being real suspect. I'll be like, unless they give an exact date, I won't believe it.
Yeah.
So, soft confirmation for Q1 2022. Kitty cat fighting. That is it. As well, in gaming news, Marvel's Avengers War of Wakanda expansion release date announced. It will be coming August 16th.
17th.
So, no, 16th. Oh, wait, what?
Where do you see 16th?
The subtitle underneath the date announced. So
Oh, no, that's the presentation. So it goes.
Oh.
That's the day before.
Oh, table presentation's the 16th, and it will be releasing on the 17th.
Gotta read the
so there's
full
a whole
thing.
I'm sorry, I was looking for keywords. There's a story trailer. It's like 2 minutes long. This is the Marvel's Avengers that didn't do too well, though. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I find it hard to believe that a Wakanda expansion is gonna save the game and make it like good and interesting to play. But stranger things have happened. I could be wrong, you know.
Yeah, No Man's Sky is a viable game.
Yeah, it's just like this is getting into another topic, but like I feel like live service games first of all, they're not for me. I do not like live service games. Me personally, I feel like any game has a natural like point where you stop playing it. Like that is the natural life. A game has a life cycle, rather. Like you buy it, you play it, you replay it a bunch of times, and then eventually you stop playing it. You might go back to it like in a few years, or like even decades down the line if you still have like a retro console or something like that. But like I feel like that is the natural life cycle of games. Like I feel like live service games aren't meant to continue for as long as they are. That is just my personal opinion. I feel like a game is meant to have an ending. I feel like I don't feel like games are meant to go on exponentially. That is just my personal take. Obviously, you have exceptions to the rule, like games like World of Warcraft.
Which actually, because of I actually saw this in like the past week or so, but it's looking like they're finally gonna they're thinking about stopping production of World of Warcraft because morale is so low.
Yeah,
because of the whole Activision Blizzard. Suit.
Well, the Activision Blizzard has been treating their developers like absolute crap for the longest time. And like the workers describe a workplace of frequent crunch and undervaluation. Like there some anonymous workers allege that they have to skip meals in order to afford rent because they're so underpaid.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's not good because they do great work over at Activision Blizzard, the developers, but the executives there, the corporate culture there, like we know now, it's like really, really bad.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Yep.
I would just like to put that out there to cover our asses. But yeah, games as a live service, I don't know, man. Like that's kind of why I'm like, that's why I've been burnt on Apex Legends for such a long time. Like, it was the reason I kept playing it like while you were back in New York was because it was a good way for us to stay in touch and like us to spend some time together. But after you got back into Connecticut, I was like, oh, like he's here, like I'm kind of not as into it as I used to be. One, because like I'm kind of getting bored of it, and two, because like so much is changing now. It's kind of like it comes back in pieces, like the new map they introduced. Like I never like truly got into it, so it's like hard for me to keep up with. But like, it's even harder for me to keep up with now, just because there's so much. And a big part of that is because like I primarily play on PC now, so like I don't have all my stuff, so it's just not. It doesn't have that like fun factor for me like it used to anymore. But like,
I still really I haven't been playing on my PC until my fan and RGB headers get in, so it's fully cooled and fully colored.
Because you have a bad taste in your mouth from like a non-adequate cooling.
No, I just don't want the problem that we experienced to happen again. But since I had been playing Apex back on my PS5, and like, it was nice. I missed being level 430 and having all of my legendary skins, and I think that might be a console game for me going forward. Not gonna lie.
Oh, but you're at such a disadvantage, like competitive play wise.
I don't even really play ranked anymore. I just play for fun.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time I do have fun playing with it just because it's with you, but like if I was playing it to grind it like most people do, like it would not be a fun game for me. But yeah.
No, I mauled it pretty hard at Apex back when I was doing ranked.
Mhm. Yeah, just a fun game now. It's just that game. In other news,
another game delayed.
Horizon Forbidden West has also been delayed to Q1 2022. I saw this coming from a mile away. As soon as they announced it, I would just like to reiterate. I knew this was going to happen. I thought the release date they set was way too ambitious, and like when they announced it, I was like, "Really? You're gonna like when was it that they announced this? This was at the PS5 reveal.
Yeah.
Back last year. I was like, "Really? You're gonna have this ready by next year?" I was like, "We're still like pretty much at the height of COVID, and you're planning to release this within 1 calendar year?" I was like, "There's no way that's gonna happen." Because you're planning for this to be like one of, if not the flagship title, one of the flagship titles of the PS5, and you're putting yourself at a massive crunch time if you're planning to get this done and within that time span. I thought it was smart that they I was surprised that they didn't take a piece of advice from the second God of War, which had already set an initial release date of 2022. I was surprised that Horizon Forbidden West didn't do that. So, I don't know. I think this is a good thing going forward because it ensures that the game will be up to snuff with the quality that we expect from it.
Yeah.
I know some people are going to be disappointed because like the PS5 is not going to have like a really major exclusive until 2022 now. But
do
like,
you think that was like a 5D chess marketing play where they were like, "Well, like, what if they completely hypothetical? What if they said like they knew it was coming out in 2022, but they said it was going to release late 2021 to like garner more hype for people to buy the PS5?"
They wouldn't do that. They would be opening themselves up to legal action if that happened. Because that is misleading marketing, is what that is.
Okay.
Because Sony told their investors, whom they are legally obligated to tell the truth, that they were planning for a release for 2021.
Okay.
So no, I don't. That I don't believe is true, and I would be that would be a very big legal ramification if that were to be true. I just honestly think that they set an ambitious target for release, and they flew too close to the sun. I think that's what happened here. But Q1 2022, it's not that far away, and it's honestly just making me even more anxious to play it, and I will be so excited that I'm excited that it's getting the attention that it needs, and I can't wait to actually try it. All right, you do this because I know you were excited about this.
Yep. So, in celebration of both Xbox Game Pass and the upcoming Ryan Reynolds movie, Free Guy, coming to theaters, Microsoft and Ryan Reynolds have teamed up to present the first ever Xbox Game Pass non-player character awards, or NPC awards for short. So for those that don't know, Free Guy is a new movie starring Ryan Reynolds where he plays a bank teller who comes to the realization that he is an NPC in a game that's about to like go offline. And it's just like he becomes like a self-aware NPC in a video game, and it honestly, like when the trailers came out, like 2 years ago or early last year.
It was early last year. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't 2 years ago.
Oh, I was like, oh, this looks fun. You off stream, we were talking about, like, you said that you're not really a big fan of video game movies.
Yeah, because
but
like
this
especially not like video game movies that comment on the video game meta.
Well, but this kind of does. What I see it as, it's like video game movies based off of already in place IPs. It doesn't really work that well.
Yeah,
but this is a completely fresh idea that's not based on anything. There'll probably be references to stuff throughout the movie, I have no doubt.
I actually saw. I could be wrong on this, but I think I saw in like some of the trailer footage that there was the Metal Gear Solid exclamation point over someone's head, which I thought was really cool. Like, little pop culture references are cool like that, but you can't. I feel like it's dangerous to oversaturate the movie with them.
Absolutely. Or base the entire movie on that concept. Like, we know how well the early 2000s Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson Doom movie went. Not great. The Resident Evil movies did all right in their own right, but they tried to like smash. It was like Kingdom Hearts, where they tried to smash an original character into Disney Worlds, but they tried to smash an original character into the Resident Evil franchise. It just felt weird being a player of the series throughout its like tenure. Yeah,
those Resident Evil video game movies are more cult classics, I would say. Than
the live action ones are the ones I was referencing. There was one, Resident Evil Regeneration, which was a CGI movie featuring Leon and Claire in an airport that was actually really good. But also, on that note as well, the tangent's getting even a little bit farther. That new limited series on Netflix, Resident Evil Infinite Darkness.
Yes.
It was mid. Yep. It wasn't great. I enjoyed it because I liked seeing Leon and Claire.
Yeah,
it could have been a lot better, though.
I don't know. There's still a lot of disconnect between, like... That just shows there's a lot of disconnect between, like, people who don't know how to translate... Like, people who don't play video games, and people who don't know how to translate video game content into a movie or show format. Because, like, some executive at Netflix, like, who decided to greenlight that project, or whoever was directing it, I find it hard to believe that they were an avid player of the Resident Evil franchise, because, like, if they were, like, you need someone who is familiar.
It seemed like the only one they played was Resident Evil 6, and it shows.
Like, you need someone, when you create something like this that's based off of a game, you need someone who is familiar with the source material, and I would argue if you're shooting for, like, a very high-quality product, you need someone who's an expert at the source material. You need someone who knows what they're talking about. And that's the danger with
i.e. Henry Cavill for the Witcher series.
With these sort of things. That's why I'm kind of nervous about Netflix's whole, like, move to video games. I feel like it's going to be another Google Stadia situation. But
it's still in its early stages. We don't know. It could, like, garner a lot of hype. It all depends on. It really just depends on them. But so, tangent aside, Ryan Reynolds plays Guy. His name is Guy, and NPC becomes self-aware. Chaos ensues. It is set to release August 13th of this year. And at this NPC Awards for Xbox Game Pass, Guy himself is one of the nominees, alongside Samuel Hayden in Doom and Doom Eternal, Parvati Holcomb in The Outer Worlds, and Chief Trader Molly from Sea of Thieves. So there are 4 nominees for this year's NPC Awards. You mentioned right before we went live, it would be, even if it isn't him, but even if Guy doesn't get it, imagine if he did and Ryan Reynolds presents the award to himself.
I would love that. You wait. I brain farted for a bit. Did you mention the nominees?
Yes,
Okay,
I
okay,
just did
okay.
before
I
that.
brain farted for a bit.
No worries. It happens to me all the time. Sometimes the radio static takes over and you're just like, what?
I'm pretty excited for it.
And if you want a chance to vote for your favorite NPC, I've not played a whole lot of, I've never played Sea of Thieves, never played Outer Worlds.
You really should, especially now that you're getting Game Pass. It's on Game Pass. Outer Worlds is so good. So good. Highly underrated game.
But you can vote for your favorite NPC in Xbox's Twitter poll. Well, you guys can. I can't.
We have another barrier to entry, it seems.
I'm sensing a pattern.
It almost seems like you can't do gamer things if you don't have a Twitter. But whatever.
Yeah, well, water under the bridge. Xbox Twitter poll is live until August 3rd, so vote now. Vote for Guy from Free Guy. Just so we can see Ryan Reynolds give the award to himself. I think he's there just because of the meme. The movie won't even be out at that point.
Like, he's the only character that's nominated from a movie. I feel like they just did that because...
But, like, if this is, like, a thing going forward, I think that would be super awesome. But I think that, like, the flagship NPC awards, it's definitely a marketing campaign for Free Guy, 110%.
Oh my lord! I am excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm gonna watch the. It's probably gonna be a short little thing, but I'm excited.
Go see Free Guy, August 13th, 2021.
Is it August 13th? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
It's coming up quick.
Yep.
2 weeks.
Yep. And in other news, the PS5 has officially become Sony's fastest selling console of all time, with 10 million units sold in under 10 months of production. That is insane. That is an insane metric. The same is true also for the Xbox Series consoles. They
all true except for 10 million sold, I believe. But it's still the Series. The Series.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Xbox Series consoles. That they're Microsoft's most
you said all true instead
consoles.
of 10 million sold, yeah.
Yeah. It hasn't hit 10 million, but both consoles, or all three consoles, one from Sony and the two from Microsoft, are both of their companies' fastest selling consoles in history.
Xbox Series consoles are currently sitting at about 4 million sales, which is still very impressive for under 10 months of production. This has prompted a lot of Twitter responses to the PlayStation official Twitter, because PlayStation sent out a tweet thanking the buyers of the PS5.
I saw that tweet on Facebook, and
you're reading tweets on Facebook.
Underneath it was one image, and that picture from The Office with Michael Scott shaking his hand, and he looks really awkward. It was, and his manager. It was the manager who said Sony thanking the community for 10 million sold, and Michael Scott was Scalpers.
Oh my lord!
So they thanked Scalpers for the success of their console in a way.
Yeah, a lot of the comments were very salty at Sony because. So they're saying Sony failed to read the room and didn't acknowledge what a big chunk of those sales attributed to, which was Scalpers. And if it was possible,
they're like 10 million sold.
And if it was possible to mine on a console, you can bet your ass that someone would that they'd be even more harder to get, which scares the hell out of me. But yeah, the responses on Twitter were pretty funny. There was one of the top comments I saw at the time, early in the tweet, was Sony was like, thank you for this, all you who bought a PS5. It is now our fastest selling console of all time. Yada yada yada. And it was like 10 million units sold. And then one of the comments near the top was, so why does no one have one then?
It's like the housing market.
Oh god, it's so crazy. Well, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. The housing market is much worse.
Because you need a house to live in, or you need a place to live. You don't need a PS5.
Yeah.
They're just cool. But yeah, that's just a funny little thing that I I read this week. It's not funny if you don't have one, to be fair. I'm not failing to read the room, I don't think. I understand that a lot of people want a PS5 or an Xbox, and they still can't get one. My heart goes out to you guys, and I really
because
hope...
of what we covered earlier, it's not looking like you'll be able to get one reasonably priced till 2023.
Yeah, I really feel for all of you out there that want a PS5 or an Xbox and you can't get one. That really sucks. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be, it's not a necessity, and this is something that I had to come to grips with myself when I couldn't get a launch PS5, when I couldn't get one when it released. I had to wait. I was lucky enough to get one a couple months after it launched, but I wrestled with myself. I was like, you know what? I'll get it when I get it, and I'm not gonna lose my mind over it. If you don't have one, if you don't get one until they're available in stores, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Jared, you didn't, to my knowledge, you didn't have a PS4 until 2016.
Yeah, no, I got a PS4 very late.
Yeah. You were still rocking that Xbox 360 life until you got a PS4.
It worked well because when I was living at your house, you had the PS4 and I had the 360, so we had both gens covered. Yep, we had both gens covered.
I would go play the Xbox exclusives at your house, and you'd go play the next gen stuff at mine. It was pretty fun.
So it's so weird. Next gen in terms of like thinking that PS4 was the next gen. Oh,
it was pretty fun.
I can't wait. I don't want to think about the time down the road when the PS5 is considered a retro console.
That actually goes into the next topic I wanted to talk about, which is how Microsoft or Xbox rather, even though Microsoft is Xbox, Microsoft and Sony have been playing 4D chess with each other for the past couple decades, and I just want to talk about how that has evolved, because how we thought about console wars was you're either Xbox or PlayStation, and Nintendo was just kind of there. And you were either one side or you were the other, and you were everyone was very adamant, oh no, Xbox is better, oh no, PlayStation is better, and they had a whole list of reasons that they could cite why. And that's still the case. It's not necessarily a console war anymore, though. I'm taking a hiatus from TikTok right now, but when I was still frequently making videos on it, I commented on how we are no longer in the console wars and we are now in the ecosystem wars, because now it's much more than just what console you have. Now it's what ecosystem are you tied to, which I think is a much more interesting argument. And that's where the console war has kind of naturally evolved into.
Can you elaborate on that a bit? What the ecosystems ecom is/are?
So an ecosystem, just to clarify, is something like Xbox and Xbox Series PC, because Microsoft is a primarily PC company. So you think about in terms of an ecosystem, how they support all their games across PC and their consoles. And they have xCloud as well. So Xbox is no longer just a console. Xbox is an ecosystem. Xbox is a whole big platform that all these games are available all across. You talk about, do you know what vertical integration is?
I'm gonna say no for chat.
So, like what I just said, how about like they support all these games across. So when you think of across, you think of horizontal integration, right? Whereas you have a company like Sony right now, or you have a company, especially Nintendo, that is very vertically integrated. So when I talk about vertical integration, I'm talking about the games are only supported on this one device.
Oh,
And
okay.
that is,
I just didn't know the term, but I understand what you're
and
saying.
that is it. It's the whole thing. Like, oh, you can only get the games here. You can only buy this here.
But Xbox is
One thing,
horizontally.
very, very much they're supporting things across a wide array of platforms, which I love. I really commend Xbox for their commitment to one and
Accessibility.
accessibility and open ecosystem, like the direction they're taking their company in. They're not just about purely competing on a game by game basis anymore. They've evolved past that. We saw early iterations of that when the Xbox One came out, because I don't know if you saw the Xbox One launch, Jared, but they said, yeah, the Xbox One is not just a gaming system, it is an entertainment platform.
Okay.
It is where you go. They use this as a DVD player, use this as a streaming device. You can use this for games if you want, but this is an all-encompassing entertainment platform. You get one Xbox One, and this is like your device where you go to for entertainment, which was a little bit ahead of its time. I don't think people were quite ready for that move yet. That was a little ambitious. I see why they did it though. I see why they wanted
they were setting the stone. They're setting the paving stones for the future.
I see.
I couldn't think of the correct
like that's the
term
whole
of technology.
playing 4D chess. That's the whole thing. That's the term I was thinking of. Because like massive tech companies like Microsoft and Sony, they don't think how we think. They don't operate like, oh, what when this new game comes out, like I'm gonna pick it up. They don't think about it like that. Microsoft and Sony are thinking on the basis of years. They are thinking on more than just a console basis. They are thinking about what their ecosystem is going to look like in the next few years, which is why we have seen why Microsoft has invested so heavily in Game Pass. Game Pass is like the one thing that ties it all together, right? It's what ties xCloud together. It's what ties the consoles together. It's what ties the PC together. It is what Xbox essentially, like, the whole thing is about. That is their system seller in a way. That is their whole, like, right now it seems like Xbox Game Pass is their whole reason for existing. Xbox as a brand.
Yeah, it's their baby.
It's become such a heavy investment. And you could make the argument that Sony is doing better by doing the traditional model of like exclusives and selling systems that way, because one, they've sold more systems than Microsoft, so clearly people still want compelling games. And we see that again with the Nintendo Switch, which is a last gen system that is still selling better. That is still doing so well these days. Even now, especially today, we're seeing signs that the Switch is really showing its age in terms of performance. But that's because it is still true that games sell systems. But I think we need to think of it more than just games selling systems these days. We need to think of it about like
selling systems.
Open your mind as to what's possible, or what you're locking yourself into, rather, when you buy one console or one thing. You have to like
open your mind.
Always think about like the value you're getting out of something when you buy it. Like, use your money wisely. Like, this is why I think it's so cool that Xbox is moving all their games to PC. It's not necessary now to get a console. It's no longer necessary to do that. Because you have all the Xbox properties coming to PC and you have Game Pass, you essentially have an Xbox if you have a PC. And I think Sony and Nintendo could do a lot to take note here. And one other area that I think Xbox has a real advantage in is backwards compatibility.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
I talked with you.
That's the horizontal. What is it called? Integration.
Horizontal integration. Accessibility across platforms is another way of thinking about it.
Okay.
That's another area I think that Nintendo and Sony could take heed about, especially Sony when it comes in regard to this. Well, more so Nintendo lately, but like Sony has a history of doing this.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue between Sony and Nintendo who has like the step up, because Nintendo is trying, like, they've started bringing back, like, if you have Nintendo Online, you have access to like NES and SNES titles.
That's a good point.
So like it started, but at the same time you're getting like Mario 3D All-Stars, like, it is 3 games for $60, but like they're rebranding, like refreshing the games and selling them at full price.
That's another thing. Like so many people, I can't tell you how many Switches would sell tomorrow. Like they're already flying off shelves pretty fast. I can't tell you, like, they would be out of stock everywhere if this happened. If Nintendo Online did the same thing they did with SNES and NES, but
for GameCube.
With GameCube.
Yeah.
Every Switch in every store would sell out tomorrow.
That would be the market killer. Like, it would just boom.
Like, that would make the Steam Deck sweat. Like, because when it comes...
Nintendo's got to like make a move like that, or else they're going to get blown out of the water by the Steam Deck.
That's why I'm saying this is the Steam Deck is like such a good move for like the console market in general, because like maybe like I've been hoping like I want it doesn't really like an Xbox handheld doesn't really need to exist because the Steam Deck is going to exist, because like we've like, because of stuff I've already mentioned, like the Steam Deck essentially is an Xbox handheld. But I've wanted Sony to support handheld gaming much more than they do. They did the PS Vita so dirty, and the PSP was one of my favorite consoles ever. I think you have, like, PS5 is not my favorite. Hot take, I know. But like, it's compelling.
I mean, you haven't had a full tenure with it. We don't know what it has.
It's compelling.
In store.
I love the games that are available on it exclusively right now, and like, you got to remember, I haven't lived the full life cycle of the PS5 yet, so that's what's influencing my opinion here.
Yeah.
But in terms of my favorite consoles, I think it goes GameCube.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for me, it literally,
I think it goes
top is GameCube.
GameCube, PSP, PS3. Those are my top 3.
I think for me it's oh shit. I'm gonna say GameCube, PS4, 360.
And a lot of that is just like products of our environment. Like, these are the consoles we grew up playing, so we just know like what they are, and like these were the first games we were exposed to, so we just grew up loving them. Like, that's what influences your opinion as well. But like, I've wanted Sony to support handheld gaming so much more than they already do. Nintendo's all in on handheld gaming, more so than like play at home console gaming, I would say.
Honestly, yeah, like Game Boy, revolutionary.
Like, anyone who, like, whether you play in docked mode or not, like, you have to like acknowledge the Switch is designed to be a handheld first and docked second. Like, I like, if we ever get a Vita 2.0, which I don't think is gonna happen, because Sony is just like so far invested into like home console gaming at this point that like I don't know if they're ever gonna like try their hand at handheld gaming again. But I would love it if they did and actually supported it to the extent that Nintendo has. Like, the PSP was one of my favorite things to play games on, and like,
so just now that I'm thinking about it, the analog sticks on the PSP were so dope. Like they slick
Like-
the movement. Like you could feel it rolling in the like the handheld.
And this is why like the PS Vita was such a disappointment, like the way they handled it, because it was superior in every way to the PSP, but they didn't give it the love and the support that it needed. Because like just this past year they tried to kill off
the PS Vita store,
the PS Vita store and the PS3 store. Which I think is that's the whole reason I got into this topic, is because Xbox is doing a amazing job at preserving the history of games. Like you think about it in terms of like all of the mediums we consume, video games is still in the early stages. It's still in diapers compared to like other mediums like cinema and TV, which is why it's not regarded as importantly as those forms of popular culture. Like we have film being submitted to the Library of Congress. We have TV shows being submitted to the Library of Congress. Why not games? Why not games? Because like the sad reality is that I've talked about this before. All electronics currently active are eventually going to stop working. That means all consoles are eventually going to stop working. All PC parts will eventually have to be replaced, and all discs on consoles, all cartridges will eventually stop being usable. That means one day these things are no longer going to be able to be enjoyed by people, which is why I think it's so important that we preserve the history of them for future generations, because like it's important to remember where we came from for one, but also it's so heartbreaking to see when like even if I don't play games like that this happens to, but like it's so heartbreaking to see when like a server for a game gets shut down. It's so heartbreaking. Like one that was really depressing to see was the Uncharted 3 multiplayer servers getting shut down. That was
like you just mentioned. It's even if it's a game you haven't really played, but it's a title that you know in name. So like it's like you know that it is a big game, but you just never got to it, and Hi, Doctor Who.
Hi, Doctor Who.
You see those announcements, and you just have that thought, like, damn, an end of an era.
It's just very somber, and like,
yeah, it's a very bittersweet moment.
It's like
not even bittersweet, because there's nothing really sweet about it. It's just
a sad thing.
Somber is the better term.
Like games, like, and that's going back to what I was talking about earlier, like the natural life cycle of games, because like eventually a game should move on, and like especially multiplayer games, because I understand there's like a bandwidth limitation over time that like companies are allowed to do,
and that's why we've been praising Microsoft so much for the effort it's putting into preserve games.
To be clear, me and Jared are not Xbox fanboys. By no means. I
bought a scalped PS5 for $900 to play Resident Evil Village on launch day. I'm a Sony boy, and I have nothing but praises, accolades, and respect to give to Microsoft for the work it's putting in that Sony is obviously not.
Like and you can make the argument that Sony has the right, or the argument to back up like the fact that they're not making the same investments that Microsoft is doing, because one, they don't necessarily need to, because their consoles are selling faster, they're selling more of them, and people arguably like the games on PS5 that are exclusive there more. That's a subjective thing. That's up to personal taste. But like that could be an argument why Sony hasn't been doing this, because they feel like they don't need to. They feel like they almost,
which it hurts.
They feel like this is not a console war anymore. This is an ecosystem war, and Sony feels like even if they don't make as near as big a stride as Microsoft in terms of like building a platform for you to go to and experience at multiple places. They feel like they can still get you in the door anyway because of the games they're selling. That's really what it boils down to. And again, like they have PS Now, but let's be honest, PS Now is nowhere near as competitive or as good of value as Xbox Game Pass. Most of their games on older systems like PS3 and PS2 are running in emulators. They're not running natively. So you really can't like experience them as well as you would be able to Microsoft games that are available. But yeah, that's why it's just really, really sad to see like some of these games like not give the attention like they should be preserved as well as they could be, which is why I just praise Microsoft, and I'm going to keep singing their praises because it looks like they're going to keep making this investment. And
yeah, because like
it looks like although there have been reports, I don't know if you know this, there have been reports that Sony has filed a patent of a new service this is a joint effort with a company who has experience in programming emulators.
oh,
So immediately my mind is going to, they're making a worthy Game Pass competitor, one that is going to have a lot of older generation titles on it. Which, if that's true,
and like at this point, all we can do is hope that that's the case.
At this point, all you can do is hope. All you can do is wait until Sony gets their act together. Same thing with Nintendo. Like, they're sitting... No one has a bigger back catalog of games they could access than Nintendo. This is a company that goes back over 40 years in gaming history. No one has a bigger back catalog of games than Nintendo currently. And they're hoarding most of them. And
Yeah, I watch a documentary on Netflix about like the history of gaming. Nintendo started it all. Once the arcade meta, to use current terms, started to die out, like gaming, they were like politicians were like, gaming is gonna be like the flavor of the week, and Nintendo just sent us from then to where we are now.
Dude, like NES, that was such a blockbuster thing that changed the history of gaming forever. Also, apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently original NES games, like brand new in the store, they were like $80 to $100. Can you imagine playing for... I mean, we're near that now with Sony first-party games. We're getting close. You never know, Activision could
reject modernity, embrace tradition.
You never know, Activision could turn around someday and be like, Call of Duty 2023, pay $80 for it. Like, which I would already argue it's not worth it at a $60 price tag. So like,
ooh.
But yeah, that was my big tirade on that the whole like vertical integration versus horizontal integration thing.
And just one more quick thing on that topic. I was trying to find a place to throw this joke in, but I couldn't, so I'm just gonna say it now. Imagine a world where Microsoft wasn't like working so hard to preserve its history of games throughout Microsoft's game making like life cycle. I can't imagine a world where I can't play Grabbed by the Ghoulies from Xbox Classic. And I don't want to imagine that world, but because of the work Microsoft has been putting in, Grabbed by the Ghoulies will forever be in my life.
Oh my god.
I was trying so hard to find a place to put that joke in. Honestly, it's a great game. I loved that.
Never played it, but like I agree with your statement. All right, I talked for a long time on that one. Do you want to talk about the last gaming bit we have?
Yeah. So, as well, last week we announced that, or talked about the live action Pokemon series that they're working on at Netflix. They also just announced as well a live action Dragon Age series, or it might not. The Dragon Age might not be live action, but they've announced a Dragon Age series on Netflix as well, which is something to look out for more news on. It seems I never really played the Dragon Age games.
They're good. The older ones, at least. Inquisition is a little meh, which is the latest one. They're working on a new one though. But Origins is like the one that like everyone agrees is like the magnum opus of Dragon Age games. It's pretty old. It shows its age these days, but it's still pretty good game.
And the other little quick one is Simpsons Creative wants a remaster of Simpsons Hit and Run, the true Grand Theft Auto.
I would buy that.
Grand Theft Donut.
I would buy that day one.
I would buy. I'm fake gamer truths time. I've never actually played Simpsons Hit and Run.
It was underrated at the like ahead of its time. I gotta say that so ahead of its time. Grand Theft Auto,
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Grand Theft Auto, walked. But make it Simpsons.
Simpsons Hit and Run walked, or should I say, Simpsons hit and walked, so Grand Theft Auto could fly.
Well, I see.
It deserves the deserves the recognition for paving the way. I mean, the earlier Grand Theft Auto titles released around that time, so it's not like this was the original idea and someone was like, make it serious.
No, I mean
drugs.
I mean, when did Grand Theft Auto 3 come out? That was the first 3D Grand Theft Auto.
But yeah, a Simpsons-based cartoon Grand Theft Auto is pure chaos. Because you take it less. I know you don't really take GTA seriously, but because it's a cartoon game, it's just even more chaotic, and it just kind of fits the mold a little better.
Oh, okay.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
So at least in the early stages. Oh yeah, Simpsons Hit and Run was heavily inspired by GTA, because
I have no doubt.
GTA 3 came out in 2001. Hit and Run came out in 2003.
So I rescind my statement and I say GTA walked so Simpsons Hit and Run could fly.
Yes. Could hit. So Simpsons could hit and run. Yeah, the setup the setup was there. I don't know why you didn't take it.
I know. I'm dumb most of the time.
Alrighty. That wraps up all the topics we're going to talk about. We have our little what to watch / play, and then we'll wrap up the show. So I'll kick it off with games, and then Jared's going to take it over with movies. So out this past week, we have Contra Returns, which is a mobile Contra game out on iOS and Android. We have Blightbound, which is out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. We have Microsoft Flight Simulator, finally coming to Xbox Series consoles.
It's gonna be tough.
I have not seen footage of it running, but I could be wrong. It could be amazing. I don't know. I'll have to research that. We have.
Imagine if they pull that off. That'll be absolutely.
They probably had to do some tweaking. It's probably not as good as the PC version, but like I'll have to see. We have Neo: The World Ends with You, PlayStation 4 and Switch. We have Samurai Warriors 5. That is a very niche title that is very underrated. You should go check it out.
The Warriors games are fantastic.
Samurai Warriors games
I played through One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 on stream. I loved it.
That is out on Samurai Warriors 5 is out on Xbox Series consoles, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Not on PS5, oddly enough.
That's strange.
Yeah, it's even on PlayStation 4. It's interesting. We have the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Dude, the Ace Attorney games are so good. They're so good. That is out on PS4, Switch, and PC. Then we have Tribes of Midgard. That is out on PlayStation 4 and 5, as well as PC. That is supposed to be a very good sort of like B-tier game, so go check that out. Chernobylite is a Metro Exodus or Metro series / Stalker series inspired survival horror game placed in Chernobyl, Ukraine. So I would go check that out.
Is that out?
That is out. That's out on PC right now.
I might look into that after stream.
It might be on Xbox Game Pass. Don't quote me on that, but get Game Pass, by the way, today. Yep.
Yes, I will.
It's $10.
I won't get a Twitter, though.
It's $10. I don't care. Just get Game Pass so we can play Dead Space 3 together. We have Nier Reincarnation, which is an iOS and Android Nier mobile game. Mobile gaming.
Still might get it for Nier though.
This one I'm actually very excited about. The Forgotten City.
What is that? That sounds very. I mean, like the title is vague. It's not like a franchise or anything. I don't think.
It is a time traveling historical educational video game, which I am very excited to play. It sounds.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Great. It is kind of short. I think the maximum you could stretch it out to is 9 to 10 hours in length. But it is not a full price $60 game, I don't think. Hold on, let me just confirm that. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, I don't know how much it costs, but I don't think it's a full price $60 game. But it looks very good. Go check it out if you need to.
What was that called again?
The Forgotten City. That's what it's called.
Forgotten City.
Yeah, it is like gotten amazing reviews so far. That is out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, PS4, Xbox One, and PC right now. And then we have Eldest Souls, not Elden Ring, Eldest Souls out on PS5, Xbox Series consoles, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Then we have Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Series. That is out on PC, iOS, and Android. To my understanding, that's a remaster of some Game Boy Final Fantasy games that have been ported to mobile, which I think is cool.
Yeah, I remember in high school, I had got Final Fantasy 1 through 4 on my iPod Touch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was playing them for a while.
Pretty cool. Especially because, like, modern phones are like vastly more powerful than the consoles that we played those on.
Yes.
Like how many more times powerful? How much more powerful is a iPhone 12 than like a Dreamcast? It's like night and day. Oof.
Just shows how much we've grown.
I know. Then we have The Ascent is out on Xbox Series consoles. It's already been released for a while, but it's now on Xbox consoles, including Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles, as well as PC. And finally, we have Alone with You, which is an indie title that is coming exclusively to Switch. That is out today.
Don't play indie games.
Don't play indie games.
What was that game called?
That was Gone Home. That was
Gone Home. We played Gone Home together, and we both cried at the end. I have a Snapchat saved. We're like, just don't play indie games.
Listen, I like AAA games as much as the next guy, but like indie games hit different.
It's a little bit flipped for me. Like I am much more indie game gamer.
Oh no, sorry, I was misleading. I was like, indie games they're like where it's at. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I meant it to come across that way, but it didn't clearly. All right.
No sweat.
Off to you.
All right, for movies. This past Saturday, 24th, we had Blood Red Sky. Woman with a mysterious illness is forced into action when a group of terrorists to attempt to hijack a transatlantic overnight flight. It is on Netflix. Rated at 5 out of 5, so if you want an action thriller horror, look into Blood Red Sky. Another Netflix release the day following. I lied, not a day following. I meant yesterday, Thursday the 29th. Resort to Love, rom-com. And today, we've had a lot of big releases. Jungle Cruise, starring Emily Blunt and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Paul Giamatti as well. Oh shit! Nationwide theatrical release. We had Stillwater, starring Matt Damon, which looked like a drama thriller. It looked good. It looked dark. Dad's got to do what a dad's got to do to save his daughter, type of thing. And then this movie I'm really excited for, by A24, The Green Knight. It looks so cool. I actually thought it had released a couple days ago, but when we were setting up the dock for the stream today, I was like, oh shit, it came out today. I actually made a Snapchat post, like a story post about it last night saying, who wants to go with me to see this? But Green Knight tells the story of Sir Gawain, King Arthur's reckless and headstrong nephew who embarks on a daring quest to confront the eponymous Green Knight, a gigantic emerald-skinned stranger and tester of men. It looks really good.
He tests men. What else does he do?
Oh, I'm feeling tested right now.
I feel it in my testes.
As well as those three, we have The Exchange, comedy coming of age, VOD and digital. What does VOD mean?
VOD.
Video on demand?
Yes.
Okay.
I.e. a Twitch stream.
We have Twist, inspired by Charles Dickinson's iconic novel Oliver Twist, action-fueled crime thriller. Okay, I'm moving on from that. That's also on demand and digital. A Dark Foe, which doesn't have an image of the movie cover on Movie Insider. Drama horror, guilt-ridden FBI agent stranded in the painful memory of the abduction of his sister. Ride the Eagle, starring J.K. Simmons. I'm not sure if he's like the main actor, but he's in it. He's the highest rated actor in it, I guess. Drama comedy, 9 Days, starring Bill Skarsgård. Okay, I'm looking for at least like one name I recognize. It's a drama. The Evening Hour, drama thriller. No names I recognize, but Cole Freeman maintains an uneasy equilibrium in his declining Appalachian mining town. Oh, so that might be like a town going crazy type of thing.
Probably.
Drama thriller.
Sounds like it.
We've got Lorelei. It's a drama. It says limited, so I don't know what the limited releases are. After 15 years in prison, Wayland reunites with his high school girlfriend, Dolores, who is now a single mother of 3. What follows is a lyrical take on love, regret, and second chances. Interesting. Not my cup of tea, but... And then we have Enemies of the State, which has next to no information on Movie Insider. It has like a sentence or two long description and nothing else. Investigates the case of alleged WikiLeaks courier and anonymous hacker Matt DeHart, an alleged whistleblower who believes he was the target of a U.S. government conspiracy. That's it.
That's it.
That's all we know.
That's all you get. That's all you get. You gotta watch it to find out more.
Stars 2 people.
Stars 2 people.
I'm so curious. I might watch it just to figure it out. It
Honestly,
says...
Have you seen the Tomorrow War yet, by the way?
No, I still haven't watched
They're
the
making
Tomorrow
a
War.
second. You gotta watch it.
We got all the way to J.K. Simmons' reveal, and I had to leave.
Do you want to watch it tonight? I'm not doing anything.
I'm going to see Victor in Godspell tonight.
Lame. I'm kidding. It's Victor.
I was like,
I'm kidding.
what?
I'm kidding.
No.
It's Victor.
Okay. And so, all right, Kevin, take TV away.
All right, I'm gonna rapid fire these.
All right. Yeah, I gave little blurbs about all the movies.
I'm not doing
Apologies.
that. First up, we got How to Sell Drugs Online Season 3.
Well, Season 3?
Season 3 is out on Netflix. Next we have
Netflix. What are you on?
Next we
what
have
the fuck?
Next we have
Sorry.
Mighty Express Season 4 is out on Netflix. After that, we have Chip and Dale Park Life Season 1 is out on Disney Plus. Turning the Tables with Robin Roberts Season 1 out on Disney Plus. The Snitch Cartel Origins Season 1 is on Netflix. Netflix loves its drug shows, I swear. Next, we have Tattoo Redo Season 1 is out on Netflix. And then we have Love is Blind, After the Altar, Season 1 is out on Netflix. The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, Batch 2 is out on Disney+. And
they're calling them batches.
They call them in batches, not seasons. Next, we have Jellystone, Season 1 is out on HBO Max.
Well, okay, please give at least a description of that. What the hell is Jellystone?
Oh, give me a second. It's an animated one. It looks like it's a spin-off of a Cartoon Network show. This is all we have. Set in the charming town of the same name, Jellystone follows an ensemble of Hanna-Barbera characters as they live, work, play, and destroy the town.
Oh, so yeah, it's Hanna-Barbera characters. So that, yeah, I'm looking at.
It looks like a cartoon.
That's
Network
Yogi
sort of
Bear.
thing.
That's redrawn Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jellystone. Next we have F-Boy Island, but you know what the F stands for, don't you? We have F-Boy Island Season 1. Well, yeah. F-Boy Island Season 1 is out on HBO Max. And we have The Prince Season 1 out on HBO Max. We have The Wine Show Season 3 on Acorn TV. What is Acorn TV?
For all of our sommeliers out there.
Next, we have Behind the Music Season 1 out on Paramount Plus. I actually have Paramount Plus. It's actually not bad. It's only $5 a month. And you get all the cartoons from your childhood. It's pretty great. You already talked about Jungle Cruise. We have Outer Banks Season 2 out on Netflix. We have Myth and Mogul John DeLorean Season 1 out on Netflix. You should watch that since you're pretty into DeLoreans. We have Centaur World Season 1 out on Netflix. We have Glow Up Season 3 out on Netflix. We have The Demi Lovato Show Season 1 out on Roku.
It's just on Roku? Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's just on Roku natively. I was like, okay.
Curious.
I didn't know she was getting her own show, but all right. Watch the Sound with Mark Ronson Season 1 out on Apple TV+. The Pursuit of Love Season 1 out on Amazon Prime Video. Zoe Bakes Season 1 out on Discovery+. Romeo Santos King Bachata Season 1 out on HBO Max. Gold Rush Winter's Fortune Season 1 out on Discovery+. And Heartbreak Island out on Discovery+. Puppy Bowl Presents, the summer dog games that sounds cute, out on Discovery+. And that
Puppy Bowl Presents, what is that out on?
Discovery+.
Discovery Plus?
Yeah, pretty niche market there.
Yeah, but they got the Puppy Bowl stuff.
And
Puppy Bowl content for how much more a month? Is it worth it?
I think it's like $7 a month. I mean, for one show, that's kind of like.
If it was Paramount's $5 a month, I would totally do it just to watch all the Puppy Bowl Present content. And
plus, like you get Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, and SpongeBob as well. But that is it.
Wait, on Discovery or Paramount?
Paramount. But that is it. That is all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen.
Not bad.
So
Jesus, we went. Yeah, you weren't kidding. I was like, we're gonna have to pander for time, and you said, "Don't underestimate my ability to rant about tech." And here we are with our longest stream.
Be fine. Told you. What are you worrying about? All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and
really appreciate it.
We will see you. Hope you guys had fun. We will see you in the next episode of JK Amusements right here, same channel, same time next week. Thank you so much.
Amusement